Okay, it's Sunday the 6th of December. Today's my last day. Yesterday was my last day working. Today is pack up and go home. So 6 weeks as a um, chaser bin driver. It's been a really good experience, an eye opener, and as the farmer's son said, character building. It's definitely a good experience for me. I enjoyed it. Um, I enjoyed it thoroughly. Hard work though. It's definitely hard work. So I'm just out the front of the Dongers. Um, yeah, the Jeep's all loaded up. I'm ready to go home. But just to cover off on a few things, like I say for myself, for future, if I do come back and come back for next season and help being a chaser bin driver, um, familiarisation with a header. I've got some notes here. So on the front, there's the comb. The comb goes on a trailer. There's a big spinny thing with like fingers that come out of it, like a fork. That's called a reel. Um, there are retractable fingers that are on a drum that spin and feed into the front of the header. On the front, there's on the very front that actually does the cutting. There's a knife and knife guards. They are also called fingers. Sometimes they snap, and you have to replace those knife guards. And sometimes the knife snaps, and you have to replace those as well. So they're replaceable, I guess, consumables. On the back, there's a chaff spreader. So as everything goes through the machine and the grain goes into the hopper on top, as they call it, the box, up the top, so you can see when it's full, so the chaser bin driver can go out and offload them, along with the lights that flash. At the back there's a chaff spreader, and so you've got to keep an eye on that chaff spreader as a good chaser bin driver to make sure that chaff is coming out the back, because if it's not, it's being blocked up inside, and then you've got to spend some time diving into the machine and pulling it all out, and that's not a fun job whatsoever. Also, I found out about gauge wheels. So on the back of the comb, there's these wheels that ride, which you might think hold it up, but they actually don't. They actually ride on the ground, and that sets like the height, and they call that the gauge, I think. So these gauge wheels, and sometimes they burst and they split the side walls, and yeah, that's fun and games changing them too. Yeah, and I had to help out with that. But also just working on a working farm when it's harvest, and I'm sure seeding is the same. Just getting yourself in order. So you're in the paddock. Well, I've been in the paddock anywhere between 6 and 7:30 in the morning, and getting home at night anywhere between 6 and 9 at night. And so you really have to have yourself squared away in terms of your washing of your clothes and your food prep. If the farmer isn't providing you with meals, you really have to have yourself sorted out. And one of the things I'm going to bring up is going to the toileting. There's no time during the day to go. So if you can train yourself to go before you leave in the morning, that is ideal. So everything is all done in the morning, and then you're good to go for the entire day. So if you can't train yourself, it's very difficult to then find enough time during the day during harvest, and I'm sure seeding's the same, to just take time out and nip off into the bush with a bog roll, because that's not fun either. And the flies, as you can see, are pretty friendly. Toileting is something that needs to be brought up. Everyone has to go at some point, but if you can do it before you leave the house in the morning when you're close to the amenities, that's awesome. But once you're out in the paddock, you haven't got much of a chance. Your clothes washing. Also, be a team player. Always just get out there and see if you can lend a hand. Even if you think you can't, they're doing something that you think, well, I've got no idea what they're doing with that. Just go over there and just help out. Just clean up. Just get some chaff out, or just be around. Farmer really likes that. So just be around to lend a hand, shift a trailer, hook a trailer up, clean some chaff, get some tools, tool identification, knowing what to get, sockets, ring spanners, open enders, all that, shifters, all those sort of just normal hand tools that you'd find in a trailer. That's always good. But I made myself a bit of a keepsake of all the things. Now I need to once again go back to my notes because sorry about that. I don't want to get it wrong. So I'll do it in this order. If I can bring it up. Here we go. So on the bottom is canola. That's what canola looks like when it's been harvested. We always see canola as we're driving past as city folk. We're driving around and we see those yellow flowers and you think, oh, aren't the paddocks beautiful with those yellow flowers? That's the canola plant, but this is the actual seed. That's what canola looks like on the bottom. The next one up from there is barley. Hopefully that's focusing okay. Next one, that's barley in there. Then we've got 3 lupins. They're those little round balls. Third one from the bottom, that's lupins. We also harvested lupins this trip. Then 4, hopefully you'll pick the wheat. That's the 4th one up. That's wheat. And on the very top is oats. So yeah, this is my little, it's all made from recycling. All this grain was spilt grain that's been found on the floor. This is a pasta sauce jar that I made pasta one night, so I kept the jar. And the separators in there, what's separating them all, those bags that I was stuffing, that's a discarded bag. So unfortunately those bags aren't reusable. Once they've been filled, and then they need to offload those and take them to market or do whatever they're going to do with them, those bags get discarded. Unfortunately they can't be reused. And so there's a bit of that plastic around, so I cut them into discs, into circles, and just use them as separators. So everything in there is recycled and recovered waste. So I'm pretty happy with that. So that can be my little memento, which I'll show at work for show and tell of all the things, but I just got to get the names right. So it's canola, barley, lupins, wheat, and then oats. And oats is the itchiest to work with. Very itchy oats. They're not much fun with getting that on you, the dust from that. So today's drive home day, like I say, the Jeep's loaded up. Say goodbye to the ladies. You can see them over there. No, not there. They've been out my bedroom window. The sheep there in the paddock greet me every morning when I come out to go to work. And yeah, that's it. It's been a really good experience. I enjoyed it. Definitely recommend it if you're able to go and give some farmers a hand. If they do need a hand, and because of COVID, that's how this opportunity is presented. COVID blocked a lot of the backpackers and temporary workers into Australia. So I took that time off. Took the time off from work and approached a farmer and said, look, I'll see what I can do and give you guys a hand. So they were very appreciative. I said I come up to speed and did a good job after a week of training, and they're very happy. All right, now to drive home and see my family. I haven't seen or spoken to much of them because of the hours I've been working. So get to spend some time when I go home.